Welcome back to the channel, people. It's 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards. It's back to square one. It is yet another international break where Liverpool fans have to contemplate on a loss and just keep lingering in that doubt that is it going to ever get better this season? Because in this particular game against Manchester City, Liverpool have been outfought. We've been outbattled, outmuscled, outthought, and everything about the energy Liverpool took into this game was wrong. And for me, I think something is massively wrong when it comes to our preparation for games, the training, the mentality we take into games. Because today, we can talk all we like about tactics. We can say a lot about the strategy that Pep Guardiola brought into this game, and maybe that is why they won. Maybe he put players in certain positions, and that outdid us, basically. That took us by surprise. But I beg to differ. This had nothing to do with tactics. One team wanted it more than the other team, and that was City. Liverpool went into this game with fear. We went into the game with no energy at all. The pressing was off in that first half. We just couldn't win a single ball up the field in Manchester City's half. We just couldn't do it to save our own lives. And even when we defended deep, the energy, the urgency with which we closed the ball down, it was absolutely poor. When we look at the two goals that we conceded in that first half, the missed header by Ibrahim Konate, that was lack of concentration. Even before that, before Konate missed that header, the energy and the urgency to close down the person who was going to cross the ball was absolutely non-existent. So for me, it is all about the energy. And where does the energy come from? It comes from the manager. The manager has to make sure the energy is right, the training sessions are right, the intensity in the training sessions are right. Because I always say, you play like the way you train. Every single team. If you don't train well, you don't play well. So for me, this loss is because the energy wasn't there throughout the week after we won against Madrid. Maybe the players were given too much time to rest. They were given too much leeway to walk around in the training and just feel their way back into recovery. And there was no adequate preparation for this particular game. What was the plan today, really? What was the plan? Even if we had a plan, the plan was always going to be as good as our energy that we put into the plan. So this has been absolutely abysmal. After the first half, I knew the game was over. The game was absolutely over. There was nothing that we could possibly do to turn this game around. It was never going to happen because Pep Guardiola would expect it and he was going to shut it down completely. And even aside that, we just didn't have the energy to go through that second half in a different way. No matter the tactics, no matter the changes in strategy, no matter the different positioning of the players on the field, it was never going to work because the energy, first and foremost, was missing. The concentration wasn't there. The desire to win the game. City clearly wanted it more than we did. And that is the most disappointing thing about this particular loss. For me, it is not about tactics. As I've said right from the beginning, this Liverpool slump this season has nothing to do with tactics. It has nothing to do with new players because Sunderland are showing that even if you sign over 10 players, yesterday against Arsenal, Sunderland had 7 players on the field who came in just this summer. So I wouldn't buy any argument that tries to peddle the idea that Liverpool's bad season is because we've signed new players. That is absolutely unacceptable. I completely reject that argument. So it is not about new players. It is about the fact that players are not 100% focused, determined. The energy, the desire is not there. I'm not going to say it is because they don't want to bring it, but they just can't bring it up. And Arne Slot did an interview last season where he said that most of his time is spent trying to bring out the energy in the players rather than thinking about tactics. And if that is true, then Arne Slot, I'm sorry. This season, you are doing a very bad job when it comes to bringing out the energy in the players. Because you said it yourself. You spend more time finding ways to bring energy into the team. But this season, you have failed massively in that respect. People are still going to keep on calling for the head of the manager when it comes to his job, that he should be sacked. But I want him to keep at it. I want him to solve this problem because there's a problem that only him can solve. He needs to find innovative ways of getting around this problem. And if anyone thought we were still in a title race, please save yourself from the mental torture. Let's stop thinking about the title, please. It is all about a top four battle this season. And it's going to be a very tough top four battle for us. We even risk not finishing in the top four. I'll go as far as saying that. So when it comes to title conversations, for one, I have advised myself, I'm not going to get involved in Liverpool being in a title conversation. That is absolutely no. It is not going to happen. You can't play the first 1/4 of the season like this and expect to be in a title challenge. You can't. It just doesn't happen like that. So let's forget about it. It is not going to happen. The only thing we can focus on right now is to get back to some consistency because it has never been consistent this season. And don't get me wrong, any team can lose at City at any time. It is not about the result. This is about the performance. This video is not about raving about the results or picking players out individually and saying who did well and who didn't do well. The energy wasn't there off the ball. And on the ball, it was just missing. We didn't have the energy off the ball and on the ball. And when it comes to bravery, being courageous to try and play and head the opponent, we didn't have it. And I think it was all up here. The mentality wasn't there. We weren't 100% on it. We weren't prepared for this game. That is what I would say. Because right from the beginning, you could see it. We weren't prepared for this game. City were absolutely up for the game. They were magnificent in that first half. And that is why they won the game. They won the game because they really wanted it. They were well prepared. They were mentally prepared. They were focused. They had the energy. They were able to bring out the energy in them. And that is kudos to Pep Guardiola because he is the manager. Everything stops with the manager. So I'm not going to mention individual players here. Today, my match review is not going to mention any player because there is no need. They were all poor from start to finish. It was absolutely poor. They missed the penalty. That is the only thing that went in our favor today. Everything else went wrong. Everything else that could have gone wrong went wrong. That Virgil van Dijk goal from the corner, I actually don't know why it wasn't given as a goal because that should be a goal. In spite of how poor Liverpool were in that first half, that goal was a goal. There's no way you can convince me that Robertson was in the eye line of Donnarumma because the ball went over the head of Jeremy Doku and Robertson was on the right side of Jeremy Doku on the left side rather. So I don't really get why that goal wasn't given. But that is not the reason why Liverpool lost this game. Let's make that clear. Liverpool didn't lose this game because of a refereeing decision or a couple of refereeing decisions. Because if anything, they missed the penalty. That was our chance to get back into the game, to change our mindset, to bring out the energy in us. And we just couldn't do it to save our own lives. It's a complete shambles, this Liverpool performance. And I don't know how many times we are going to say this is the worst performance that we've ever seen from this team. The most disappointing thing, lastly, before I end the video, is the fact that Liverpool players gave up on the pitch today. They gave up. So if the players on the pitch have given up, they've accepted defeat at 3-0 and aren't running back, tracking back and tackling hard enough anymore, how much more me as a fan sitting in my couch? Why wouldn't I give up? So after the first half, I had already given up, to be honest. I knew it wasn't going to go anywhere, this game. So, but seeing on the field that the players had given up, that is the most damning thing you can ever see about a team who has just won the Premier League. So it was absolutely shocking. It was absolutely unacceptable. And I think Arne Slot has a lot of work to do. Don't forget to like if you like what you've heard from this video so far. This is a Liverpool channel. We will always continue to support Liverpool, but we say that as it is. This video was to analyze a particular game, and that is what I've done. So do me a favor, like the video. Also comment down below. Feel free. Let me know your thoughts. Subscribe if you are new here. Still, take care. It's international break. See you later on. You never walk alone. Ta-da.